Hey, Plant Fam. Welcome to the Wind Down the Week podcast brought to you by Soltech Solutions, where we talk with members of the plant community while enjoying a drink or a few drinks. I'm Angie Del Grasso, your host and owner of Steel City Plant Company here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Our guest today is Nick Pileggi. Nick documents his indoor gardening journey on his YouTube channel, where he makes videos sharing his experiences and learnings on anything and everything having to do with houseplants. He currently grows roughly 350 plants in his one-bedroom apartment in Philly, accompanied by his cat, Muffin. So let's bring in Nick.
Hi.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
So let's kick things off with an icebreaker. So a fun icebreaker that we've been doing is called Petal and Bud. So petal is something exciting that happened recently, and bud is something exciting coming up. So what is your petal? Something that happened recently.
Oh my gosh, what happened recently? Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I'm doing an experiment with a company that is pretty sure that they're growing tissue culture monstera obliquas, which are, very sought after houseplants in the community. So that's a really exciting thing that just happened. And should I talk about my bud next? Is that what it was? Okay. Yes. We just booked a trip in like a week and a half to Disney World. I haven't been in like 4 years, so I'm not like a Disney gay or anything, but like I'm really excited.
That's amazing. I was just there 2 years ago. So much fun.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Me and my best friend are going.
That's awesome. Have the best time.
Thank you.
What's your favorite park in Disney?
I really like Epcot. The grown-up in me loves Epcot, but the child in me, of course, likes the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, you got to drink around the world.
Yes, we plan on it. We're gonna skip around the world. I don't think I can quite handle 11, but 4 or 5 sounds like more than enough.
Yeah. So my petal, so something that happened recently that's exciting. I would say starting this podcast. So this is only our second episode. So very pumped. Yes. So thanks for being a part of the beginning of this, because
Absolutely.
We hope it's something that lasts a long time, and we're just so excited to bring it to the community.
I'm thrilled.
And something coming up. Oh, I'm going to Governor's Ball this weekend in New York City. So
wow,
very excited. I leave tomorrow and I'm gone until Monday. So
oh my god, that is so much fun. Oh my god, have a great time.
Pretty much like just going for Post Malone, but it's fine. It's gonna be fun. It's fine.
That's amazing.
Okay. So what are you drinking over there?
I am actually drinking a Singapore Sling.
Oh, tell us more.
It's a very complicated cocktail. I used to work at a bar, and it was one of the ones on the menu. It's like a classic cocktail, but it just was one that we also included on our like menu of like cocktails we made in house. And it has so many ingredients that we had to pre-make all of the liquor in a storm pour just to make it easier for the bartenders. But it's gin, Cointreau, which is orange liqueur, a cherry liqueur, Benedictine, which is like an arbor liqueur, bitters, pineapple juice, lime juice, grenadine, soda water. It's a lot. It's an investment. I was really craving them a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I want to just go get everything to make Singapore Sling.
So you bought all of those ingredients?
Well, I had the gin and the Cointreau, but the cherry liqueur and the Benedictine are obviously a little bit more like nitpicky. But I went and got those. But yeah, now I've just every time it's a good occasion, I'm like, let me have a Singapore Sling.
What are you drinking? Try one of those.
Yes, they're delicious.
I'm drinking mead from Colony Meadery here in Bethlehem. They're on the south side of Bethlehem, and it's honey-based alcohol. Have you ever had mead?
I have not. I think it's so cool. I just heard about it, and I had no idea what it was.
It's so good. This one's called Pass the Mead to the Left-Hand Side, and it is made with water, honey, mango juice, pineapple juice, chili pepper, and different spices. So super yummy.
That's so cool. Can I ask, does it taste more like a beer or a cider or like a spiked like vodka like seltzer thingy? Like what could you compare it to?
It's so hard to describe because once you have it, you're like, it just tastes like mead. Like it doesn't really, I would say it tastes like honey wine.
Okay. Okay.
But
Cool.
it's a little bubbly and it's also a little hoppy. Like I
So
feel like
cool.
I'm drinking beer cider wine made from honey.
I love it. I'll have to
It's
try
all
it.
of the flavors. It's so good. So yeah, they're a really, really fun, great company here in Bethlehem. We're proud to have them in our community, and they have a cool place you can go drink at the bar and play games, have live music. So it's a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
All right. Thank you to Colony Meadery for being our alcohol sponsor today. And you can find out more about them at colonymeadery.com. All right, let's play a drinking game. What do you think?
Yes. Wait. Yes. I had no idea what I signed up for. This sounds like fun.
All right. So it's not that serious. We're gonna take it a little easy. But anytime whoever says water or sun, we take a sip. So if you say water or the word sun, you have to sip. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We both take a sip. So if one of us messes up. And then listeners, you play along with us at home. So if we say water or sun, and I've said it like 5 times, so I think we need to chug a little.
Okay, yes.
So drink with us at home. Okay, let's get started with some Q&A. I'm so excited to learn more about you. Of course, I creep on your social media and your YouTube, which is amazing. But tell us more about that YouTube channel and more about what you do.
So I've been doing the YouTube channel for just about 4 years now. I think I posted my first video late September 2017, I guess, which was just a houseplant tour. I started it because there was nothing like it on YouTube. I had been growing plants back then for probably like 3 or 4 years. I started growing houseplants when I was 19 or 20, and I'm 26 now, by the way, so you can do the math. But I would go on YouTube. I would see like houseplant tours from just like various people who just like didn't really like run YouTube channels. They just like posted houseplant tours, and I was like, that is such a good idea. So I wanted to do that myself. So I just made a tour of my home. I was like, I have 70 plants. That seems like good enough. And which is more than enough. I know I said I had 350 plants, but even 5 plants, honestly, like 1 plant is a lot. It's something to take care of. So just to put things into perspective. But I started taking like notes from other corners of YouTube. Like I remember I would see like eBay, like mystery box unboxings, and I was like, well, maybe I could order plants online, because a couple years ago that was not something you really heard about doing. Ordering a plant in the mail was very different. So I wanted to try that out and show it off and just see how it went, and other things like houseplant hauls. I would see people do like Trader Joe's hauls and stuff like that. So just taking corners from here and there of the internet. And it was the plant corner of the internet, which was very small back then, so it was a slow start, but it's a really great little corner of the internet that I think is a lot of fun. And I have since, I worked in the plant industry for a couple of years. I worked at Urban Jungle in South Philadelphia. I was their buyer for a couple of years, which is actually how I got in contact with Soltech Solutions way back when. But yeah, I used my experience from there as a buyer, and now I just work on my own from home.
That's awesome. I love Urban Jungle in Philly. It's such a fun spot. So, okay, I'm stuck on this. How did you go from 70 plants to 350? Like, how long did that take?
Okay, so, well, the 70, I probably got to 100 houseplants probably into like 3 or 4 years into gardening. So it wasn't just like crazy fast. But then I got my job at Urban, and I was just taking home, I would get like a really good discount. And since I was the buyer, I'd often get to take things home at cost or for free. So I would just accumulated a lot of plants really fast. And I had just moved into a larger apartment at the time with my roommate, my past apartment. So I wanted to fill it up, and I kind of went a little hard, but I've been kind of juggling around that amount of houseplants. I probably maximum had like 450, but I moved earlier this year, and I really just like, I want to say dumbed down the collection, but it was to like 350. So I've been kind of, like going between like that and 400, but it sounds like a lot more. Like when people hear about my house, like my friends, and they hear that I have as many plants as I do, and they come in, they say that they're like, it only has to do like 100. And that's what I want to hear, because 1, it means I'm not hoarding, but 2, it means that I'm plant styling correctly. So it's still a lot by all means. But
right, like you have the aesthetic down. So it's
I'm trying.
Complimenting your house instead of,
Yes. It's easy to go a little too hard.
Do you have a roommate now, or is it you and the plants?
No,
Like how, if so, okay. I was going to say, if so, how does
just me.
rooms feel about the plants?
Oh, well, she lived with me we lived together for 3.5 years, and
Oh,
she is
wow.
still one of my best friends. She literally had no problem with it. Like I said, when I moved in the apartment, I probably had like 90, maybe 100 houseplants. So she knew what she was getting into, but she probably wasn't quite expecting as
Right.
much as it went. But she like was very supportive, like I said, best friend. So she had no problem with it. There was a couple times where she was like, maybe we could not have a bunch of plants on the kitchen counter. But I worked with her, so it was fine.
My fiance used to be like, real, like another plant. What are we doing? But then, I ignore that and I just keep bringing plants home. And now he'll be like, I think we could use a plant on that wall and maybe it should be tall. And he doesn't know plants as well as I do, but he's like, can it be like a tall one, but like skinny, and we'll put a grow light? And I'm like, yes, I've won you over.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I need to know all about your cat Muffin because I'm a cat mom of two, very proud, twins. They're twins. I say they're twins. They're just the same litter, but I feel like that's twins, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It counts. They're born basically, that is twins.
Right.
With humans, it's twins, so it's twins.
Right.
Muffin
So let's hear about Muffin.
She's a little tiny little black cat. She's 4 years old, but she is just super small. My best friend that I lived in the old apartment with works at a veterinarian, and she told me recently that if Muffin was brought in, she would be put on the infant scale because she's so small, and that practically made me. But she's like small. She's not like skinny. She's just like a really tiny cat. So.
Yeah.
This little black cat, she was found by my old roommate because she is just a magnet for stray cats. So yeah, but she's just the cutest little thing. She's so sweet, and she does not bother my plants, which I really appreciate.
Neither do mine. So we
That's
just
rare.
train them right off the bat. Like I feel like people think cats aren't trainable. It's so not true. I mean, we just said no when they got close to them and they were still babies, and they just listened. We got lucky, I guess. I don't know. They're very good.
Recently, Muffin got a habit of scratching against my aloe plant because she likes the way it feels. So that's the worst she does. But I just moved it away, so she was not going to get any bald spots or anything from it.
So oddly enough, I have two fake plants in the apartment, just places that don't get a lot of sun. Just first,
You said sun.
Everybody drink at home.
I knew it was going to happen.
Places that don't get a lot of light, and I just needed to balance out the aesthetic. So no shame in fake plant game, but that is the only plant. Those are the only plants my cats bother. My one cat will go to the fake one and just lick the leaf. And I'm like, dude, it's fake. But I think it feels good because it's like scratchy.
Yeah, probably.
It's so weird.
Okay.
Love Muffin. So adorable on your page.
Thank you.
So I know Muffin stays away from your plants, but does it impact your collection? Do you steer more towards pet friendly? Do you put them at different heights? Like, what's your game plan there?
No, not anymore. But when I lived with my old roommate, she had a cat as well, and he was very nippy. So, for example, every time he was angry and he wanted to eat, if he wanted food and he would get angry, you know how these cats are, led by food. He would want to chew on one of the plants. So I purposely put my Calathea orbifolia on the floor because it's a pet-friendly plant. So he would just go for that one and barely any other one. So I kind of worked with it that way. But in this home, I really don't consider it. It's just not something I have to think about, fortunately, which I like.
Yeah, that's great. Me too at my place. But here at our plant shop, we specialize in pet-friendly, already potted houseplants. So that is a big thing that our customers seem to want in this area, at least. So we have all of the good pet-friendly ones over here.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you can do a whole collection of just pet-friendly houseplants and have a beautiful collection.
What's your favorite pet-friendly houseplant then?
So I really enjoy peperomia. I feel like anybody who subscribes to me knows that I'm a big fan of that. But I would say recently I probably am enjoying a little bit more the aesthetic of ferns. So just because they have a really nice vibe, and it's something that when I didn't quite know how to get the watering down, a little bit more difficult to take care of. But now that I'm learning, I think that they are so beautiful. They can get much bigger than peperomia, which have a little bit more effect on the home.
I also find it very therapeutic to mist my ferns. Like that's like a meditation for me. Like I love just taking care of them.
I wish I could have them in the shower. I don't have any windows in my bathroom, but like if I could hang one or two from the shower, that would just be like such a vibe.
Right? Future apartment or house goals.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
Sure.
Definitely.
What is the most common houseplant that you have? Like who's your basic babe over there?
Oh, probably just like a ZZ plant. I have a lot of common plants.
Yeah.
I love common house plants because they're easy to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I knocked some of them when I first got started with gardening. I probably didn't grow a pothos for like the first 3 or 4 years because I would just see it like on TV on sets all the time. I was like, that's so boring. But I realized why they're so common. So.
Right. Even at the shop here, spider plants have been making a huge comeback in popularity. Like people just want the spider plants that we have. And
I've never grown one, or I have like once or twice, but not successfully. But like I need a gorgeous one that's just like spilling out everywhere. And they take time.
They do.
So they're rewarding.
Yeah. Yes. Well, come visit us. We'll hook you up with a spider plant. A big luscious one. Yes, please do. I'm in Philly a lot, so we've got to meet up next time I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely. I live downtown.
Perfect. All right. What else? What got you into plants in the first place?
When I was a child, I was really into fruit and vegetable gardening with my dad, and we would always go to the nurseries every year to get the new garden started. And I would always see the house plants, and my parents would be like, no, like we don't like those, because we had 3 cats and they like peed in the plants or something. I don't really know what the whole tea was. But when I was in college, one of my neighbors came into my apartment for the first time, and the first thing she said was, why don't you have any house plants? And I was like, well, I've been thinking about getting some herbs, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, like you need a house plant. So she literally gave me an aloe, which is the aloe I still have to this day. It's my first house plant I ever got. The one that Muffin likes to rub up again. It's grown tremendously since then. But yeah, that was really the slippery slope. I would want to go to, I was so broke back then, so I would just go to like Home Depot and IKEA to get my houseplants, which still have fine houseplants, but obviously you're going to find a much better selection from places that actually curate the selection. But I would go every weekend basically, and my boyfriend at the time would be like, well, you want to go again? You want to go again? Like every week, like, you want another houseplant? And it was like, yes. It probably took like 6 months. Basically what you said you're dealing with as well. So what you dealt with before. But yeah. And then they understand. They just let it happen. They
do. And now like he's hooked. So it was a win-win. But I always say like I just ended up with so many houseplants in our apartment that I had to open a store because I needed more room to be able to be surrounded by plants. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The happiest situation.
Man, you get to pick the very best ones to sell.
Yes, exactly. That is so much fun because you feel like, I don't know, the curating part, like you said, it's just fun shopping for plants and ordering all the ones that you want and spend some time with. And then I do feel like I run like an adoption shelter. Like I get really attached to the plants, and then the ones that are here for a while find homes, and I'm like, I get really sad when they leave.
Totally
like I'm happy they get a good home, but it's hard.
Oh my God. Yeah, I totally feel that. There's things I miss about working at the houseplant store. There's things I don't miss as well, but we won't talk about that today.
Okay, that's for when I come visit you over drinks. We'll hear that story.
Yeah. So I could go on. But I could also go on about the things I love, like I said.
Yeah. Do you name your plants? Speaking of getting attached.
I don't. I have one houseplant. You can barely see it. It's this larger... Okay, I can't reach it. This one right here. It's my Natal mahogany, and because she's so big, we named her Natalie, which is fitting since it's a Natal mahogany. This is years ago, and it's just stuck. But no, I don't name them. But like, I feel like I'm missing out by not naming some of my houseplants because I could get all like sassy with them. But
yeah, I don't either because I feel like I'm already too emotionally attached to them that if I named it and God forbid it died, it would be like I have to take off from work for emotional rest day. Like
absolutely.
I don't know.
And there's a few too many of them to remember all their names.
So what do you have coming up on the horizon then with your career? Like anything we should keep an eye on for you? Let's hear some plugs.
Oh my God. No. No, I don't really have anything going on. That's kind of what I enjoy right now. I will say I am taking some time I'm getting ahead of myself. I do have plans on getting back to a couple of my older series that I used to do on my YouTube channel just to try them out. I have a couple ideas of things I might try out also in the future that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to be held accountable. But I'm really just taking this time to enjoy. I worked at the store for, I mean, just a couple of years, honestly not that long, but I still am just really enjoying taking this time to get to do my own thing for a couple of years before I get committed. We'll probably open up a houseplant store myself at some point. So I'm really just trying to enjoy this time and take care of mental health and all of that good stuff. So that's really all I have going on right now, but I really enjoy it.
Good for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It's a great plan.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're already getting ready to end today's podcast. So that means that it's shout out time. Last week's riddle, though, let's do this first. So for those at home that commented in our chat box, on our comment section, the riddle was, I am a seed with 3 letters in my name. Take away 2 and I still sound the same. What am I? Do you have a guess, Nick? Before we
I was like trying to do the math in my head there, but it was just
so like 3 letters, a seed, take away the last 2 letters, it sounds the same.
No, I don't have a guess. I'll be thinking for a while.
It was P. P-E-A. P. Yeah.
Okay. That's cute.
So this week's trivia question is, how many species of edible plants are there? How many species of edible plants are there? So you're going to write down your guesses in the comments or your reviews, and we'll pick a random person with the right answer and give them a shout out at the next episode. Congratulations to last week's winner. Keep an eye out for a message from us to receive a free Soltech t-shirt. So thank you, Nick, for joining us for today's episode. It was so nice chatting with you and getting to know you better. I would love for everyone to go check out your pages now, Instagram and YouTube. You can find Nick. And is there anything else you'd like to say to close out the episode? Do you want to throw out your handles so that people can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Philly Foliage on Instagram, and my YouTube is just my name, Nick Pileggi. And while we're doing shout outs, I should say that I'm actually sitting directly underneath my Soltech Solutions aspect light right now.
Woo!
Oh, there you go.
You look very gorgeous under that Soltech light.
I'm photosynthesizing.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. We can't wait to keep the conversations and the booze flowing. So Wind Down the Week is created in partnership with Soltech Solutions, Steel City Plant Company, Domaci Home, and Lehigh Valley with Love. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.